Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Kakadash. It's all praises to the world called God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to those elect preaching word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify and off a little conversation with a bro about one of his family members trying to sit here and bring up the Catholic Church and everything and act like they're on this pious high ground. The brother asked him a question. He said, he said, so why in the Catholic Church are so many people pedophiles? And that's what I want to delve into today. So to go into these things, because the Catholic Church is nothing but falsehoods, lies, fallacies. They made all these things up. Cunningly devised fables they constantly use from the beginning of their origins, fear tactics to try to justify them gaining, right? Going back into the period where they had indulgences to where you can pay for your way into heaven. You can pay for your forgiveness monetarily. And that's not according to the scriptures, right? A man tried to buy the spirit of the Lord, and the Lord smote him with blindness. And that's in the New Testament. So the Catholic religion in a whole, all these religions are just fake. They're fallacies, they're twisting of the scriptures. And the reason why it's like that is because from the very origins, let me actually start off with this, man. This is, Ecclesiastes 1:15, it says, that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered, right? You cannot bring a clean thing out of an unclean. Let me see. Oh, yeah. This is there's another scripture I'm thinking of. I want to get it. Yeah, here it is. Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. And the origins of Catholicism, Christianity, as of modern day Christianity, is off, right? So just a little bit of quick history. I don't want to make this too long. Now this is going into Constantine the Great. This is the man that converted the world really into, and really he was a J. He wasn't a white looking Edomite. But he converted the whole world into what we know as Catholicism, because every branch of Christianity is Catholicism, right? Constantine the First, also known as Constantine the Great, was a Roman emperor from AD 306 to 337, and the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. He played a pivotal role in elevating the status of Christianity in Rome, decriminalizing Christian practices and cleansing the Christian persecution in a period referred to as Constantine shift, or the Constantinian shift. This initiated the Christianization of the Roman Empire. Constantine is associated with a religio-political ideology known as Caesar Papism, I don't know how to pronounce it, says, which epitomizes the unity of the church and state. He found the city of Constantinople and made it the capital of the empire, which remained so for over a millennium. Right now, I'm gonna jump down. Now, this is where you cannot bring a clean thing from an unclean. Right. Um, Let me start. Yeah, I'll just get it right here. It says, although Constantine lived much of his life as a pagan and later as a catechism, he began to favor Christianity beginning in 312, finally becoming a Christian and being baptized by Eusebius of Nicomedia, an Arabian bishop, although the Catholic Church and the Coptic Orthodox Coptic Orthodox Church maintain he was baptized by Pope Sylvester I. Right now, he started his life as a pagan, right? And really, when he came into power, he didn't leave any of that paganism alone, right? You could literally look up Constantine the Great mixed Christianity with paganism, and this was brought up. It says, yes, Constantine the Great, the Roman emperor, converted to Christianity in 312, is known for blending paganism and Christianity in a number of ways. Assimilated pagan gods, Constantine incorporated the Roman pantheon of gods into Christianity. For example, he replaced Peter with Jupiter, the king of the gods, right? And you also saw that play out in the scriptures where they tried to say Peter was Jupiter, all that, right? Mingled holidays. Constantine combined pagan holidays with Christian beliefs. For example, he made the day of the sun at state holiday 312, right? Which is why people worship on Sunday, to worship the sun god, right? Christianity, Christmas was Saturnalia, right? The blending and mixing of these things. And the scripture said, the Lord even said, neither came it to his mind. Yeah, this is, I'll get Jeremiah 7:31. It says, and they built the high places of Toth, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my heart. So they were doing things that the Lord never even commanded them. It's no different than now. They started blending things with paganism with the words of the Lord to make it more palatable for the people to just go into. And this is why, man, what was the scripture I just had? It was just in my mind, man. Damn, bro. Well, Lord will, the Spirit will bring it back. Right? It says, use pagan symbols. Constantine, Christian faith adopted pagan practices and symbols, such as using the ancient Egyptian symbol of life to represent the cross, right? Which is why you got idols. That's why the Lord said worship nothing. Going all the way back to the law. This is Where is it at? Well, so you're not supposed to worship anything in heaven above or in the sea beneath. Yeah, Exodus 20:4 says, "Thou shalt not make." You know what? Let me actually go to the whole chapter. Exodus 20:3. It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I am Yahweh thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." Right? So what did he do? He took an image that the heathen did, and that goes all the way back to what, Jeremiah the 10th chapter. Jeremiah 10:1, it says, "Hear ye the word which Yahweh has spoken unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed." So the Lord told us not to learn the way of the heathen, but he was taking in heathen symbols, right, and mixing it with the truth. Right? Now it says, "Granted the Leathern Palace to the Roman bishop." Constantine granted the Leathern Palace to the Roman bishop, who had previously lived in a shack on the other side of the Tiber River. Legalized Christianity. Constantine legalized Christianity in the Edict of Milan in 313. However, Constantine's religious policies are considered ambiguous and elusive. Historians debate whether he was a sincere Christian or remained loyal to paganism. And this is why. Now, when you go into paganism, a lot of pagans, right? Paganism is in pedastry, right? And that's where pedastry is the old way of saying P-E-D, P to the E to the D to the O, P.E.D.O, right? Pedastry in ancient Greece was socially acknowledged relationship between older males, the estrates, and the younger male, the eromenos, usually in his teens, and it was never in his teens. It was characteristic of archaic and classical periods, right? And really, all these heathen did these things in these other religions, right? The Hamites did it, the Japhites did it, right? They all had this depraved sexual lust for little kids. This is why the scriptures tell you. And Wisdom of Solomon, I think it is. Let me get it, man. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 12:1, it says, For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. It says, therefore thou chastisest them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that they leave in their wickedness, they may believe on thee, O Yahweh, talking about the Israelites. It was it was thy will to destroy by thy hands our fathers, by the hands of our fathers, both the old inhabitants of the Holy Land, the heathen war in the Holy Land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of men's flesh, and the feast of blood with their priests out of the midst of thy idolatrous crews, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help. Like even Elam has a practice of what's called bachi bazi. You can look up a documentary called "The Dancing Boys of India." Right, pedastry and paganism go hand in hand, and this is why a lot of these Catholic priests, right, are pedophiles, because the origin of them all go back to that. Right. Let me see if I can find this, man. Now, peep this, right? This is from Wikipedia. The debate on the cause of cleric child abuse is a major aspect of academic literature surrounding Catholic sex abuse cases. Now, look at this. It says seminary training / mission. Clergy themselves have suggested their seminary training offered little to prepare them for a life of celibate sexuality, right? Where them teaching that you have to be sexually celibate, that's not according to scriptures. Scriptures talk about those that forbid. This is 1 Timothy 4, and I'll start at 1. It says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And this mindset of, if you're going to be a man of the cloth, so-called, you can't marry a woman. That's not according to the scriptures. That's a doctrine of devil. It's a seducing spirit. It says, speaking lies and hypocrisies, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats which the Most High had created to be received with thanksgiving. Talking about those, you even got people now sitting there saying you're not supposed to eat meat, right? Well, there's lawful animals that you're able to eat, and there's unlawful things that you shouldn't eat, like pork. It says, of them which believe and know the truth. You see? So they're forbidding to marry. And this is, Paul had to address it for man burn. This is, where's that one at, man? It's in this, I think. Yeah, it's this one, but where's it at, man? Yeah, here it is. This is 1 Corinthians 7, and I'll start at 6. It says, but I speak this by permission and not of a commandment. For I would that all men were even as myself, because Paul had a lot of work to do, and he felt condemned in the spirit, and he persecuted the church. Right, so his mindset was, I gotta be fully locked in. He had a lot to do. He had a lot of traveling. He couldn't be tied up with a woman. Right. It says, after this manner and another after that. It says, I say, therefore, to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn. So this whole notion is if you're gonna serve the Lord, you can't have sex with a woman, you can't be with a woman. That's off. And this is what the Catholic Church preaches. But here it is, and I'm gonna show you in a minute how these things really come about and where they really go back to. This is it says a report submitted to the General Assembly of Synod of Bishops in Rome in 1971 called the role of the Church in the causation, treatment, and prevention of the crisis in the priesthood, right? And they even labeled it as a crisis. These niggas keep doing this. By Dr. Conrad Barrers, a Roman Catholic psychiatrist, and based on a study of 15,000 priests, suggested that some clergy had sexual problems, though to report suggested that immediate corrective action was needed, making 10 recommendations. No implantation of the report's detailed recommendations followed. One of those most active in the synod at the time was Cardinal Wojtyla, who on October 16, 1978 was elected Pope John II. Now, really, all this, the things these popes do, all are done in paganism, and a lot of it comes from the Talmud, because one of the most popular things that popes wear is the same thing that the enemies of the Lord constantly adorn. Right there. That damn homica, right? I gotta say it like that just for you gotta keep your words seasoned with salt. I'm gonna put it right here. And we'll compare. Don't look no different, does it? See that? Where the scriptures tell you if a man prophesying, have his head covered. Right? Look at that. Then you compare these things. Look at that. Then you start comparing these things to what those in the Catholic Church wear. And then you delve into the Talmud. Right? Then you delve into the Talmud. These are excerpts from the Talmud. Now, where does that pedastry come into play? It's so prevalent in the Catholic Church. Well, right here it says Sanhedrin 59a. Murdering Goyim is like killing a wild animal, right? Now I'm gonna jump down. It says where is it at? Yeah, here it is. Number 6, it says Yeb Hamath 11b. It says sexual intercourse with a little girl is permitted if she is 3 years of age. Where the hell does that come at in the scriptures? There's another one in here. Where is it at? Look, number 16, Aboda Sarah 37a says a Gentile girl who is 3 years old can be violated. This is out of their Talmud. This is out of their Talmud, man, and it gets more depraved than that. Right? So when you understand that these people really run this, and their influence is all throughout it, from the same hats that they wear, they got to implement it over here because it all goes back to that damn Talmud and these counterfeits. Right? So when you go in to Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, and go right here to started I started started the 15th verse. It says, then you understand when they put all these images out and everything, it was all done in lies, right? This is verse 12. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. You see, this what they've propped up in this world, this Catholic religion, this modern day Christianity, ain't according to the Lord, and it's not going to last. It's already being torn down. They're sitting there closing down churches because people ain't going to them no more, and turning them into shopping centers and gyms all throughout Europe. It says, for vainglory of men, they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, and this is another lie going into the image of Cesare's Christ, who's really Pope Alexander's son, one of the Pope's sons, Cesare Borgia, that they ended up turning into this because he was killed early. It says, when he had made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law. Right? When they made that image of Cesare Borgia into the Son of the Most High, blasphemed the Lord. Right? They made this murderous, adulterous, by night, Cesare Borgia into the Son of the Lord. He's a fucking murderer. This nigga was, like, they called the Borgias the first crime family. Right? And they made it a law that you have to bow down and worship, and they went throughout the world conquering with that lie. It says, engraven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings, whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt afar off. They took the counterfeit of his visage from far, right? Images all the way from Europe, and they went and sailed across the sea and got to the Americas, enslaved the so-called Latinos and Native Americans, and made them bow down and worship those images. It says, and made an express image of the king, whom they honored, to the end that by this, their forwardness, they might flatter him that was absent, as if he were present. Also, the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forth the ignorant to more superstition, right? For he, peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion. right? And so the multitude of the Lord, by the grace of the work, took him now for a God which was a little of before, was but so like a which a little before was but honored, and this was the occasion to deceive the world, for men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name, meaning Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? You can't put that name on nobody else, but they did that. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High, whereas they lived in a great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace. Right? So that's the history on how you even got the modern day image. But there's a reason why that pedophilia, that pedastry is so prevalent in the Catholic Church and any of the Christian sects, because that is the origin of what they came from, and all of them come from the same belief system, which is all tied to the small hat people and their doctrine that comes right out the Talmud, right? So, Lord willing, this is edifying. This is kind of a lengthy one, but shalom.